Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Sherry and I do a daily general reading for whoever's watching. If you're drawn to this video, trust that there's a message you're meant to hear. If the reading resonates with you, please give the video a thumbs up. If you like the content I create, feel free to subscribe. And if you have anything to say, share, suggest, please either put it in the comments or send an email to shapeshiftingtarot@gmail.com. All right, so let's see what's going on today. I pulled a couple of cards already. I feel like we're talking to somebody who has been in a bad relationship for quite some time. You've finally taken the steps to go ahead. Number one, you're preparing yourself mentally. I feel like mentally you are clear in where you want to go in this life with this relationship, how you want this to progress. I feel like you're definitely ready to move on and break up from your partner. You've been feeling stuck in this relationship. I feel like you were bored and like there's no financial stability. Your partner is someone who is insecure and jealous. This masculine energy is jealous of your feminine beauty, energy. He's threatened by your connection with the 5D. He's threatened by the fact that you seem to be fine alone without him. But you feel like his dependence on you is too much. It has been too much. You feel stuck. You're ready to walk away. You've been working on your inner self. You have been connecting with your inner child. And you have taken the advice of your ancestors and you are realizing how important you actually are, not only in the world, in your family, in your relationships, but also to yourself, the value that you bring to yourself, which really is everything, because without you, you wouldn't be here. So you are the star of your own movie. You are the most important in your life. Feathers, lots of feathers in here. I've got the 4 of air, the 2 of air, the 5 of air, the star has birds, the 6 of air, clarity, there's birds, the 5 of earth even, insecurity, there's birds. So feathers, air, communication, connection to the spirit realm, and flight. Bird, messengers represent clear thought and speech associated with intellect and freedom. So it's like you finally, not that you were stupid, but you finally got smart. You finally clued in to what's really going on here in this relationship. You finally, not finally, you're learning what's important in life. And the thing is that what is important in life is what you place importance on. Whatever you value the most, that's what's going to be the most important thing in your life. The most important thing in my life is not going to be the same as what is yours. So it's from your perspective as to what you put value on. Some people choose to put value on the same things, but even still, it's their perspective. And so everything is very individual. So you are learning to take a look at what's of value to you. What is important in your life? Where do you want to go with your life? Regardless of every single other person around you, it actually has no bearing on what you do with your life. And if it does have something with what you do with your life, it's actually then your thoughts, your perspective, your perception is your very own. And hard as you may try to get somebody to see your point of view, it's actually impossible, because they are not you. Only you are you. Therein, that should give you some freedom to express your spirituality how it feels best to you. Perform ceremonies or traditions according to what feels best with you. Tend to your inner fire. And in that way, you'll be planting roots. If you do this consistently, every day, on a daily basis, you will plant seeds which will grow roots, which will bring great growth to your spirit, and you'll be grounded, but you will also be reaching for the 5D. There's clarity and security when you come to inner peace. There may be some fear, but I feel like you'd rather be afraid than be with somebody that doesn't value you, somebody that doesn't trust you, and somebody who has a different idea of what love is from you. It's hard for you to be in a relationship with someone like that. So you're changing your foundation. You are interested in finding somebody to love, and someone who will love you in return in the same way, return your love in the same way. However, I feel like you are realizing that isn't the be all end all, that there's a love that comes from your ancestors that is just as fulfilling, but in a different way from a physical love in the 3D. Your ancestors, your twin flame, this type of love goes beyond the physical. It's spiritual, it's energetic, it's universal. I feel like that's the love that some people call God. But this is it's a connection with yourself that's so deep, it goes so far beyond you, down to the DNA of your DNA. And also in that thinking, there is freedom in that life is what you make it. And regardless of what someone is going to do around you, about you, to you, life is, the meaning of life is your perception and what you perceive the meaning to be, what meaning you put on things. So it will do you well to get healthy emotionally, spiritually, physically. Get healthy, take care of yourself. This gift you have been given. We can move, we can talk, smell, hear, love, wonderful things, feel. We can do all kinds of things with this wonderful body that we have been given. But if you are not in a good state of mind, if you don't take care of the health of your spirit and your emotions, then that disregard for health, disregard for well-being will go to all other aspects of your life. Your body will start to fall apart. You will be emotionally unstable. Maybe you turn to alcohol, drugs, gambling, whatever addiction you may be into. We lose connection with our body, so we aren't as stable on the ground. Maybe we fall easier and we hurt ourselves. That can, a broken hip can really change the rest of your life, can't it? Falling and hitting your head and giving yourself brain damage or killing yourself is really going to affect your life. So we want to have like a stable, healthy grounding, a stable, healthy foundation from which to starting point, a point from which to begin. So don't be afraid to love. Don't be afraid to show love. Don't be afraid to go through pain. Sometimes pain shows up as, like, pain is an all-encompassing term, right? It's a label. There's the pain of unrequited love. There's the pain of loss, the physical pain of, hurt. There is shame, guilt. All these things equate to suffering. And so when I say, when your ancestors and the angels, when they say healing, this is an all-encompassing level of healing. So let's say you're not physically sore, but you have some things that trigger you when they happen in life, and you explode emotionally and you have a really hard time recovering from that. That's pain. I think most people understand that, but we can't assume that everybody knows that, can we? I don't like to assume anything. So by going through the pain, by getting into contact with your higher self, you will contact your inner child. Your inner child is more of the core of your essence. It's your beginnings. Getting in touch with that side of you, that side before life got at you, before life happened to you, before you got hurt. And maybe that takes you back to little bitty baby. But even, they say that the idea of the action of even birth, being birthed, is a painful experience. It's suffering. They come into the light. They are no longer warm inside their loving mother's body. Babies, they scream. The air is hard on them when they first start breathing. And, so there's kind of always been pain. We're born into this suffering here on this level, in this 3D world. We're born into suffering. So suffering is a part of life, but that doesn't mean that we need to perpetuate it, make it worse, make it bigger. So what you can heal is what we're working to heal. And so that's really just whatever comes up. If you're sitting with yourself and you're being quiet and you are, it takes a while though. It takes a consistency. You have to build on this level. Build on the consistency, build on the basics, your foundation. So you sit with yourself for 1 minute every day. Well, today I went on the elliptical for 5 minutes on level 1, and it was not easy. And tomorrow I will go on the elliptical for 5 minutes on level 1, and I will do that the next day and the next day and the next day, and I'm going to build a habit. One point in time, 5 minutes on level 1 is going to be too easy. I need a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to do 6 minutes on level 1. I am not going to jump now to 30 minutes on level 3, because that's just crazy. So in that sort of way, we need to build on the healing, build on the time that you spend with yourself, and otherwise it becomes too much. It becomes overwhelming. You get hurt. Like on the elliptical, I would get hurt if I went on level 3 for half an hour. I don't even think I could. I would probably fall off. I'd collapse. And in that way, I would get hurt, right? So, and I would never go on that thing again. So think of your spiritual journey and your emotional health as something you can touch, something tangible. Would you do that physically to yourself? I don't think so. And if you would, then you're a glutton for punishment, and good for you. And I hope you can sustain that. But for me, I cannot sustain that. So do what you can, and do what you can do consistently. Make it very, very easy. Make it very, very manageable. Leave a chair in the corner, or find a place that's always available to you, so that no matter what's going on, you can always go to that spot for however long, 1 minute, whatever, to meditate or to do whatever it is you need to do, or whatever it is that helps you. It helps you get out of your head, get out of the 3D, something that helps you focus inward, focus even just what's right on what's just in front of you. I feel like working on this stuff and gradually building on this will create a great strength within you. It will strengthen your foundation. It will make you feel stronger, and it will pump up your confidence. Also, leaving this relationship that you just left, there is a period of mourning, of course, a period of grieving, where you're getting through the pain of the separation, and just, reflection on just what we do. We reflect on relationships and what went wrong and what we could have done and how much we were hurt and how much we hurt someone else and all of that stuff. Once you go through this this pain, you will come out stronger. We always do. And there's happiness on the other side of this for you, when you are the star of your own movie, when you are attending to your inner fire, when you are in touch with your ancestors, your grandmothers, and your inner child. This is the result. Fulfillment, happiness, joy, honestly, inner peace, freedom, clarity, healing, balance, inner order. Like, this whole reading is all, it's lovely. It's growth. It's progress. And self-love, moving away from expecting things from others. And if you cannot love for yourself, you have got to try to remember that your ancestors love you. Think about when you are dead and gone, and you have great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. They are your blood. You want them to do well, right? You just kind of love them by default. It's just within you. That's how your ancestors feel about you. Feel that love, absorb that love that is being sent to you from them, because it's valid, it's truly there. And it will help you get through those hard times when you think you're alone and you think no one loves you. That's BS. They do love you. You just can't see them. But if you tap into it, you can actually feel it. All right, so let's get a card here from our ancestors. From the Shaman deck, wisdom and guidance from our ancestors. What would they like to tell us today? The ancestor of exile. I am the ancestor of exile. I have borne witness to many kinds of separation and have watched the suffering of those who are driven away from their home or country. Yet there's a deeper exile still, an exile from the self, and I stand ready to help lost people find their way back to their place of belonging. Draw strength from me when you need reconnection or support in times of loneliness. Exile does not have to be simply a physical state of being. For example, isolation from a community, a tribe, a place of work, or even a family. Exile can extend to one's sense of self, perhaps denoting a loss of self-worth, self-understanding, self-love. The ancestor of exile comes to help us when we feel detached from ourselves or from any aspect of our lives, enabling us to reconnect with the course of our life's journey. The sharp spike of emotional solitude is painful and damaging, especially when the wound is left untended. The ancestor of exile will restore our sense of wholeness. This card can be interpreted as reconnection, return, restoration to family or nation, strength in time of loss, and a new direction home. And I feel like when we're talking about reconnection, return, restoration to family or a nation, and a new direction to home, this destination, I feel, is within yourself, a self-love and an arrival of your awakening, a sense of understanding that you are where you're supposed to be at this moment, and that everything is okay where you are right now. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep breathing. I love you. Namaste.